I'm young, I'm handsome, I'm fast, I'm pretty, and can't possibly be beat.
They stole his bike from in front of the gym, but he was never planning on going home anyway. From the streets of Louisville, Cassius Marcellus Clay went on to become the greatest heavyweight boxer ever.
That's why I say I'm the greatest.
Clay would first set foot in the square circle in the age of 12. Within weeks, 89-pound Clay had his first bout and, yes, his first win.
Clay swings with his left. Clay swings with his right. Look at young Cassius carry the fight.
Clay rang up 108 amateur bouts, and his hard work in the ring paid off with 6 Kentucky Golden Gloves championships, 2 National Golden Gloves championships, and 2 national AAU titles before he was 18 years old. In 1960, just back from Rome with his Olympic gold medal in hand, Clay got his first taste of the 60s South when he was refused service at a local restaurant because of the color of his skin. His first brush with social injustice.
Well, when you say you're ready to go to war right now...
If I see that barrel in the street, I'll beat him before the fight.
You'd actually take him on before the fight?
Beat him like I'm his daddy.
Even with all of the problems that were facing the United States during the 60s, Clay brought a new form of showmanship to the lifeless sport. At a time when boxers never talked to the media, Clay did all his own talking. He used his mouth as well as his fist to earn him the title of the Louisville Lip.
I'm not only a fighter, I'm a poet, I'm a prophet, I'm the resurrector, I'm the savior of the boxing world.
Then, on a hot Miami night in 1964, came the fight that shocked the world. Despite the 7-to-1 odds, Cassius Clay upset Sonny Liston and became heavyweight champion of the world. The next day, Clay announced he was a member of the Nation of Islam.
And one more thing I want you fellas to know, as you heard Johnny Addy introduce me, I'm asking you in a nice way. The world is watching, and I want you to respect it, and I would like for you to call me by my name now. Muhammad Ali.
It was 1967 and the war in Vietnam was escalating. Like many other young men at the time, Ali was called up for induction into the armed services. A practicing Muslim minister, Ali refused to be drafted on the grounds of religious beliefs. Ali's stance caused virtually every state and local entity in America to cancel his boxing license.
Whatever the persecution is for standing up for my religious beliefs, even if it means facing machine gun fire that day, I will face it before denouncing Elijah Muhammad and the religion of Islam. I'm ready to die.
For refusing to fight the Viet Cong, Ali was stopped from fighting just about everyone except for the government. His championship title stripped, his passport taken, and all of his boxing licenses canceled. Ali was left without a home and a profession.
Now, draft is another thing that's against my religious beliefs.
In 1970, with the mood of the country changing, the Supreme Court reversed his conviction and upheld his conscientious objector claim. Free of the specter of jail and free to travel to box anywhere in the world, Ali staged his comeback. He started with Jerry Quarry in Atlanta, and on March 8, 1971, Ali took part in a little something called The Fight against undefeated champion Joe Frazier at Madison Square Garden. Ali lost that night in the Garden, but his most important battle against the U.S. government was won.
And I'm thankful that the courts recognized my sincerity and my beliefs in this case.
Ali was taking it home, along with boxing promoter Don King, who got the government of the African nation of Zaire to guarantee the unheard-of sum of $10 million for Ali and George Foreman to rumble in the jungle. Going into the fight, Ali was a 3-to-1 underdog, and because of the heat, Ali realized he could not dance from Foreman for the entire fight. Ali came up with the rope-a-dope, a paradoxical stroke of genius that allowed Foreman to pound on him until Foreman himself tired from punching. Ali's corner yelled at him to get off the ropes, but Ali persisted with his strategy for 7 rounds. In the 8th round, as Foreman began to tire, Ali saw his opportunity. He came off the ropes and scored a shocking knockout. Ali went on to fight on many more bouts, including the legendary Thrilla in Manila, who some have deemed the greatest boxing match ever. He fought and lost to young Olympic champion Leon Spinks, but regained his title a year later, thus becoming the first man in heavyweight history to win the crown 3 different times.
I'm going to float like a butterfly and sting like a bee. His hands can't hit what his eyes can't see.
Ali gave people hope and proved that anyone could overcome insurmountable odds. This was Ali, the greatest of all times.